Hey everybody, I'm Clifford Stumby, the Pop Song Professor, and welcome to my channel where we make song lyrics explained. And today we're talking 21 Pilots, Never Take It from Scaled and Icy. This one's interesting because I think there are probably some 21 Pilots songs that you could classify as fight songs, but I think there are precious few that are so like politically, socially active fight songs. Like, I don't think there's anything like this song that we've ever heard from 21 Pilots ever. And hearing this threw me for a loop to catch it. And I honestly don't know how I feel about this one. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but we'll go ahead and start with verse 1 because the intro is just a bunch of oohs, which I'm not very good at explaining, very complicated, too much for me. Verse 1, now that they know information is just a currency and nothing more, keep the truth in quotations because they keep lying through their fake teeth. So, based on what I'm seeing other people say, and based on my initial gut instinct when I first heard this song, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the media and just how insane things have been, particularly in, he's from the United States, so for him it's probably about particularly the United States this last year. And let's review what happened. We had a national pandemic that a lot of people did not believe in and did not take seriously. We had a lot of people die. We had a super contentious political election that should not have been so contentious. We had just, we had the attack on the Capitol building and a ton of misinformation and a ton of just thing after thing. It was absolutely insane. And so much of it came down to misinformation and people getting biased confirmation for things that they wanted to hear. And this is something that I'm semi-passionate about because I teach inquiry, research, information literacy at my college. Like, I'm in charge of the department that teaches that. And to see people mishandle data and truth and research and things like that, and to believe in what they want to believe at the expense of others and at the expense of their own knowledge, frustrates me and is just baffling. But basically, what I think he's talking about is the media. Now that they know information is just a currency and nothing more, it's something that they can use to make money, literally is what he's saying. Keep the truth in quotations, so like, here's the truth, but we're gonna, say the truth, right? And we're not gonna be completely upfront about it. We're going to, present things that will rile people rather than things that are actually accurate. Or things that will get us more money, right? And if the truth is something we don't like, then we'll say, well, yeah, this person said, and we put it in quotations because you use quotations to show what somebody said, and we'll pretend like, oh, maybe that's not quite the truth, whatever it takes to get a couple more bucks from the advertisers, right? Because they keep lying through their fake teeth. A lot of people use this image, and it's basically just referring to these people looking really nice and perfect, but there's not a whole lot of good going on here. They're trying hard to weaponize you and I will never take it because, and this is something that I think all of us know at this point, when we're mad, the newspapers and the articles and the blog posts and everything else makes way more money. That's why sometimes I've titled a video, like I have a video titled like, why I don't like Melanie Martinez or something like that. I don't remember the exact title. And I got so many views on that because people were mad, they clicked on it, and they came and watched it. Now, my opinions on Melanie Martinez do not matter, but reporting on a pandemic where people's lives matter, like, that's important. And to be treating that so lightly in an attempt to make some cash is disgusting, right? And so Tyler's talking about that. They're trying hard to weaponize you and I and get people riled up and push people to the edges, to the absolutes, because when people are completely on the opposite sides, they're not in the middle, they can't talk to each other, they can't compromise, they can't work on things together, and the people profit off of that, right? That's why Twilight is so popular, because you either hated it or you loved it, and it stirred up controversy, which made more people curious about it and watch it and made Stephanie Meyer's more money. Like, that's just like simple, basic propaganda technique 101. The more mad you are, the more somebody's making money, and it's not you. So he continues on. They're asking for a second try. You and I will never take it. Like, and this is the part, like, this whole, like, you and I refuse to be weaponized. I don't know. I think that probably 99.9% of people everywhere are weaponized by something. And so it feels like he's saying, like, come on guys, sing this song with me and let's all not be weaponized. And it even for me personally, I feel like there are things that I'm weaponized over. And so it's always like, well, I don't feel like I can honestly sing this song because I feel like I've been weaponized about things. I feel like I'm kind of an absolutist in some things, even if I try not to be. And so it's like, okay, there's probably like 2 people on this entire planet that can actually sing this song and be super sincere about it. Why cure disease of confusion when you're the treatment facility? Basically saying like, why would we share the truth when keeping people, stringing them along and confusing them so that they're looking for more truth gets us money? Like, why would we do that? That just seems so counterintuitive to our profit-making goals. And this is obviously a very like anti-establishment, distrustful sort of perspective, right? And I think the fact is that we all have news medias and people that we distrust who we think are trying to weaponize. The really important process for us to go through if we're gonna be good at handling information and actually find truth rather than just bias confirmation, which you're all trying to do, and I am too. If we're gonna actually look for truth instead of bias confirmation, is we have to look at our sources, the places that we go to for information. Heck, when you're watching a video by me, you shouldn't just believe everything I say. You should take what I say and ask like, okay, what might Cliff be wrong about? What do I disagree with Cliff on? Cliff's opinion is not gold. That's why sometimes it frustrates me that people, I'll say like that I don't like a song or an artist or something, and then people will be like, how dare you, this is terrible. It's like, you're holding my opinion too highly. You should not be doing that. Like, you should be looking for truth, not my perspective as the ultimate thing to fight against or to hold or to believe or whatever like that. And that has always confused me. Like, why do people care what I say? It doesn't make any sense. But he continues on. How can we seek restitution? We want to fix it. Trying to hard to weaponize. And he gets into the bridge. And this is probably particularly controversial, but he sings, "The summer I watched the Tube." During the pandemic, we watched a lot of Netflix, yeah. And if you're watching the Tube, there's probably reference to the actual TV, which means you're probably watching the news. I saw enough. So, taught myself to play guitar. I added the "so" there. Just seemed to make sense. Tearing it up. So I watched a lot of news and I didn't want to watch anymore, so I played guitar instead. And my advice on those 2 things, watching the news and playing guitar, that I picked up, you better educate yourself, but never too much. And this references both things, right? Like, learn how to play the guitar, but not so much that you aren't able to be creative, perhaps. And then when he's talking about the news, I know I watched Anthony Fantano's review where he talked about this song, and he thought that this was like some super controversial, terrible thing to say, like educate yourself but never too much, as if though like it's okay to hold on to some of your biases. I think that what Tyler's probably saying is listen to what's out there, but don't believe everything that you hear. Which, in a time period where a ton of people did exactly that and were super, let's go storm the United States Capitol building, it feels more controversial to say than in a year where people didn't do those things, right? Like it is a contextually, culturally, and at this point historically, interesting perspective that I feel like needs more nuance than just the 2 lines in this song. I think the full benefit of the doubt is just to say like, hey, don't be weaponized. Like if you educate yourself a little bit from these people, then maybe you're able to, and maybe from multiple sources, from different perspectives, maybe you're able to parse it out and figure it out for yourself. But if you just swallow hook, line, and sinker what people who are trying to weaponize you tell you to do, then you are educating yourself too much. That is my guess as to the heart of what he's saying, but I feel like this should have been a whole stanza, not just 2 lines. It's so like he just drops it out there, and I really leaves you with some questions that you really want answered, especially if you're an information literacy teaching professor at a university. So that's basically the song. It's kind of like a fight song saying we're not gonna be weaponized and we're going to try to be, stick to the truth. And my word of advice for you guys is just avoid bias confirmation. If you haven't done your research yet, but you believe something, then you need to set aside that belief and go research the thing and let your belief be based on the research rather than your research be based on the belief. Because it's not hard to say, hey, I believe X, Y, and Z. Maybe you believe pianos are better than guitars, and you go out and you ask on Google, like, why are pianos better than guitars? Are pianos better than guitars? And you're gonna get a ton of articles that all just tell you what you want to hear, right? And so then eventually you'll go down the YouTube suggested video rabbit hole and they'll start showing you flat earth stuff, and they'll start showing you like why guitar players are stupid, why guitar players should all be kicked out of the country or something like that. And that's the eventual pathway to weaponization, and that's where information literacy skills are super important. The fact that you're listening to this video shows that you care about information and critical thinking and deep thinking. So I have a lot of hope for you guys, but just make sure that when you believe something, it's based on truth and hard work to find that truth, not just what comes really easily and has like an advertising link in it with, you know, Google ads on the side, because anybody could have put that there. Anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this explanation. I'll have another one coming out for you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget my Obsessed podcast, where I take hobbies and lifestyles that inspire obsession. I try them out for myself to figure out why do people care. The next episode coming out is the Pokemon trading card game, and I hope that you enjoy it when it does come out. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.